I'm Lou Meadows and I'm the Red Roses England Women's attack coach.
How are you doing? Okay.
I'm good, thank you. We're excited to be in Brighton, excited for playing in a different stadium in front of hopefully, again, another amazing crowd and getting to spread the game into another area of the UK, and excited for our next opposition.
Not been a lot written about you. Is there anything that you'd say that you'd introduce yourself to anyone who doesn't quite know you at the moment?
Oh, that's an interesting question. What a great way to start. Okay, so there's not a lot around me, probably because I never played for England, so I'm not capped. And I think obviously Sarah Hunter has come off the back of an amazing career as a player, whereas actually my career in rugby started really late. I watched my brother for years, but I didn't actually don the pitch in my boots until I was at university properly. And then my coaching career started really early. So probably even into my first year of playing, I started coaching. And that's probably now, in terms of age, exceeding my playing career in terms of my coaching time. So I've actually grown and crafted myself through coaching more than I did as a player. And that's probably the biggest bit that people need to know is actually, although you don't know a lot about me, I have been in the game as a coach for quite a long time.
What was it that inspired you to get into coaching? And is there a particular moment that really stuck with you?
Yeah, so I unfortunately starting late in the game as a player, I got scuppered with a couple of injuries, and I got really frustrated on the sideline, just kind of shouting at players what to do, and I wanted to work out how I could be of best use. So I worked out actually I could influence them better by trying to identify opportunities for them, get them excited around what I could see on the sidelines and what they could look for on pitch. And then I realised I was basically coaching. So I was at St Mary's University. I'd had unfortunately another shoulder injury, and I realised actually I can still read the game really well. I've been watching it ever since I was about 4 or 5. So in terms of being able to then relay my thoughts, my ideas and everything to the players, I decided to take some coaching courses to understand how to do that properly, how to work with players best. And even off the back of that, I initially started working in the county system and got some really good results with some players in terms of just their response to the way I was coaching, the way I was giving them opportunities, how I was motivating them, how I was developing their skills, getting them excited around tactics and the ways they could play the game. And I realised actually this is not only really fun to do a job like this, it's actually extremely rewarding. And I recognised there was actually an opportunity for especially a female to do that in this game, because when I looked around as to the rest of the coaches at that county training session, I was the only female. So I thought, right, I can get 2 wins here. Not only can I really enjoy a job that I think I could be really good at, I could also potentially be one of the first females in that space to push as far as I can in doing so.
And also, you are a mum of 2, and alongside that, you also coach other mums as well, including Molly Packer and Abby Ward. Mm-hmm. How does that representation, inspire other mums to know that they can be involved in sport and be mums as well?
Yeah, I think it's brilliant for the game. It's brilliant for the world to recognise that women can be both a mum and both a professional in the area they work in. So you see it across different industries, in businesses, you see CEOs, you see lawyers, you see doctors, loads of females working in those spaces who are fantastic professionals and also brilliant mums. We just don't know about it. Whereas when you can come into a world of sport and you can reach a stage and a platform on which there's social media, there's marketing, there's an opportunity to reach a wider audience, and we can demonstrate what women are able to do as professionals and as brilliant mums, then what a great chance to shine a spotlight on it, shout it from the rooftops. Do you know what I mean? Celebrate how you can do both. Like, I love the fact that these women are coming back after having babies, like Abby Ward. Women have done it before, but again, because of social media now, we can capitalize on it more. We can shout that story out and then hopefully inspire more people to recognize they could do that too. So they don't have to choose between, they can choose to do both. And I think that's the message that should come across from it.
To touch base on like in warrior camps, and obviously you've also coached England under 20s as well. How does that like? How important is it to inspire other young girls and women to get into rugby?
Yeah, I mean, where we are as a professional game now and the pathway that we've got underneath us is a credit to a lot of hard work that's come before. And I think the Red Roses are a prime example of how important that pathway system is. So the younger players coming through. So to be able to have been part of that for a season was fantastic. So it means like Lily Ives Campion, who's come through now, I actually coached her in the under 20s. So I've got a really good relationship with her. I've seen how much she's grown through the sport, physically, tactically, skillfully, like all of it. Her rugby brain's brilliant now, her educational side of it and her understanding of the tactics is brilliant. So I'm trying again to stay connected to the pathway, and we all are as Red Roses staff. It's really important that we work closely with our pathway staff from under 18s, under 20s and up. Equally going into the schools, the colleges, all the youth systems that are underneath us to recognise how we want to play, how important those players are coming into the game, how we want more of them, how it's not only a brilliant opportunity for us at the top end, but how brilliant opportunity it is for a female. Regardless of your age, I think being a part of a sport that is so welcoming, that is we're so inclusive of anyone who wants to play. Culturally, you create a family as well as amazing friendships and people to socialise with. So it could be part of your life journey that leads you to potentially a different area of your life, but equally it can attach you to a sport for life. And I think that's the exciting part. So remaining connected to that pathway and able to support the development of the younger players coming through, particularly from the under 20s, is vital to the depth of our squad. So yeah, I'm doing that as often as I possibly can.
No, as a quick follow up to that, from coaching and from the under 20s, what would you say that you've learnt from that in terms of gaining more of that knowledge and expertise that you bring for rugby into the senior team now?
Yeah, absolutely. I think recognising the importance of basics at the under 20s and how you've really got to work on skill development, and then you've got to test that skill development under pressure. So they need to be playing. They need to be exposed to game opportunities, game scenario training, and then more skill development. Do you know what I mean? To really harness the technical aspect of what they're trying to execute and then be able to tactically apply it into the right areas and make some really good decisions, read pitches. So being able to read space, take space, put the ball in space is all we talk about in the 20s. And I think having freedom to do that, and regardless of how many errors you make, but knowing that you've got opportunity to learn, to grow, to develop and fix those problems is what's going to put you into that future Red Roses shirt. So that's something we really push for and we focus in on there. And then equally in that space, we want the girls to physically be pushing themselves. So recognizing what kind of physical profile you need to be a front row in the Red Roses, to be an outside back in the Red Roses. And then you then match that to the skill set required as well to play the type of game, to play an exciting, fast, expansive game the way we want to go after it, that's structured and unstructured. So we can get after those things really early. And if we've got the basics in place in terms of skill, we've got the groundings in terms of physical profile, we're in a really good place by the time they get to us.
Okay, so when you kind of like imagine that you are in a room full of younger players, like a little bit like you're all, when you were coaching under 20 squad, the one thing that you would say to them now, and also a little bit of two questions in one here. What is a legacy that you would like to leave from this tournament?
Oh, a couple of massive questions there. I'll go for the first one. So if I was in a room full of the under...
big questions, sorry.
It's all right. If I was in a room full of the under 20s now, I would 100% say to them, nail your basics. Do you know what I mean? Keep crafting and working on your catch pass, on your kicking, on your tackle, on your breakdown work. Like, just keep crafting at them. Don't get bored of them, because those under pressure are what is required at the top end of the game. Being able to deliver those again and again repeatedly is what will get you into a Red Roses shirt. And then the effort that you put into everything you do is the bit that we notice the most. So you can't necessarily coach effort, you can drive it, but it's a mindset, it's a mentality. So how much do you really want this? That's what we need to see. So the effort you put behind that is going to then back up the skill set, then backs up the player that you want to be moving forward. That would be my biggest message to them. And then in terms of the legacy that we want to leave behind on this World Cup, I genuinely believe we could be at a point of redefining the women's game. Like, showing the world what female athletes are capable of in this sport, playing some really exciting, attacking, free-flowing, connected, multiple try scoring opportunities, do you know what I mean, across the park, that fans are constantly on their feet watching, but equally that we can physically dominate in the collisions. Do you know what I mean? That defensively we can shut teams down. We can repeat that again and again and again, and we talk about like forming this white wall of defense that we want to be notorious for. And I think that's Sarah Hunter, but equally, if she gets that right for me, I'm getting the ball more often. So from an attack perspective, do you know what I mean? That's what brings our attack to life, and that's what fuels us. And I think that's the way we want the world to view the game. That's the way we want the women's game to be known for, in terms of its skill, its flair, its variability of try scoring. Do you know what I mean? That it's not boring, that it's going to sell out stadiums, that everyone wants to come watch it and more people want to play it. That's ultimately what we want.